Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today we're going to start to take a look at the free-to-play EZAs from the new Fusion set. So first we're going to take a look at Tekka. Tekka is kind of intriguing because he is a support unit, so he potentially could get a lot of use, but I am really curious to see how he performs. So let's go ahead and take a look at his passive, then we'll look at the team and jump into the showcase. So his super attack effect, he raises attack for 1 turn, causes supreme damage, and lowers defense. And then his passive, he gets attack and defense 150 at the start of turn, an additional attack and defense 50 when there's another crossover category attacking in the same turn. So you pretty much want to run him on crossover anyways. Crossover category allies get attack and defense 25%, and then a high chance of all allies to key and attack and defense 25%. So if that high chance triggers, your crossover allies are getting 50% attack and defense. That's really good. And 2 key. So he's actually low key, actually a really good option. It just depends on what your units are looking like, because crossover does have some pretty good supports already. But the idea that this guy has a very good chance of being a 50% support all the time is pretty kind of crazy. Haven't really put any links into him yet. So we're just kind of trying him out raw here. So yeah, we're running him on the crossover team, and his best linking buddy is actually Great Saiyaman 4. So we're going to run him with Great Saiyaman 4. And Great Saiyaman 4 is also a support for Superclass, and then Youth. So I actually got to check, is Tekka on Youth? Let's see. He is. So he is going to get the full buff from Great Saiyaman 4. Now, my Great Saiyaman 4 is not going to look impressive. I can rainbow him, but I haven't put orbs into him because strength orbs are like the rare forbidden fruit in this game. For whatever reason right now, I have a bajillion of every type of orb, but STR. STR, it's insane what the how weighted it is towards the other orbs, having more and not STR. It's insane. So obviously I would love to rainbow him and he's a support unit, but I'm just not going to give up the STR orbs right now. So and then yeah, this whole team's basically flooded with support. I do kind of want to run this fun Kuliza Selza rotation just as my other rotation. So that's what I'm going to do there. So we got Tekka in rotation 2. So we are going to float off Great Saiyaman 4 and see what Tekka's looking like. Now, showcases on support units are always a little awkward because you typically want to run the support units in slot 3, right? So I don't expect Tekka to be blowing us out of the way with attack and defense. I'm just hoping it's decent enough to be like a floating support, right? So as a floating support, I think if Tekka is hitting 1.5 to 2 mil, I'll be happy. And I think if he's defending 150 to 200k, I would be okay with that. Your slot 3 units, basically you want them to be able to tank normals in most content. You really can't expect them to always to be tanking supers. They're not always the best defensive units in the game, right? So let's see what Tekka's looking like here. So we got no lengths with Vegito, and 1 length with our boy Kuliza here. Yeah, we'll just leave him in slot 1. I'm worried Vegito could go crazy and knock him out. So 123k defense is decent. Yes, but I don't think he's not getting any more on super, because that additional attack and 50% defense. The only thing is does that trigger when the crossover category ally attacks? I think it should just be start of turn. But we can do some testing, I guess, to see. So we'll try him in slot 1, and then we can see in slot 2 if he's looking stronger after an ally attacks. But the last time I did this, didn't matter if they attacked. There was just one video I did where they had to attack first, and I could clearly tell it was making a difference. So we'll see, but I'm assuming you just have a crossover on the rotation. He's going to be getting it. So we'll see what he's looking like here. So yeah, 123k defense isn't crazy. I don't believe and he does not raise defense on super, right? So his defense definitely is not blowing us away. Now, we don't have him properly linked. That's no links, right? Okay, and about 1.9. So in terms of a pure support, he's almost hitting 2 mil not linked up. He's getting a teeny bit of support, 20% I believe from Vegito here, but that's it. So he's not really getting a lot of support. I guess he's giving himself his own support. The thing is Tekka is going to fluctuate, right? Because his support's going to fluctuate from 25 to 50%. So we could see sporadic turns where some he's looking a little bit better and some less. We're going to assume that that's his passive kind of ticking on and off. I wish for units that had those types of passives that they had some way of telling you that. I think the one that most of us in the community would agree on is when units have a chance to guard, that we would know if that's active or not, because that's going to completely change how we play the turn, right? Same thing with this Tekka. It would just be nice to know. Well, 4.2, very easy. This Celsius is just very strong. Selza and Coolies are kind of crazy. That's why I kind of wanted to throw them in the showcase here, just to play with them a little bit more, because I'm really liking them. I'm actually really excited for, like, when Wicked Bloodline, like, when the AGL Cooler gets a Easy A, and, like, you're running pure Wicked Bloodline, and then putting Cooliza on there as, like, a floating support that's hitting, like, 3 to 5 million. Like, he's going to be crazy. I don't know. That Cooliza's pretty darn good. All right, so we've got our rotation here, right? So, yeah, we're getting 5 out of 6 links. So we're getting about everything we can. Sure, we'll let Tekka tank in slot 1. So, yeah, 150k defense. So, like, literally Tekka's on the low end of kind of what I said was acceptable for support. He's, just under 2 million. He's at 150k defense. It's a little bit more acceptable on him because he's a very easy farmable free-to-play unit as well. That's the other thing we have to keep in mind, right? Because there are summonable support units that aren't looking as good as him that are maybe a little bit older. So, like, Tekka definitely, like, you can get some use out of him. Yeah, so 2.1. Now, keep in mind, you're probably not linking him up with Great Saiyaman 4 and getting him the support. Because, so, Great Saiyaman 4 is giving him 30% attack and defense. And then Vegito here is giving him 20%. So he is getting, like, super heavy support at the same time, right? So what you're going to have to remember with Tekka is the way I recommend you run him is you play a crossover team with, like, your big beefy rotations with your main attackers that probably are not supports. And then just have him floating in slot 3 supporting. That's really the way you want to do it. So these stats are going to look a little inflated, but for showcases, I always just like to show, like, what can a unit do in, like, their best situation, right? Okay, so we'll just attack with Cooliza and Selza. Let's see how they're looking like here. Cooliza's a little bit of a build-up unit. So yeah, 2.4. But like once Cooliza starts building up, like he's looking pretty crazy. And then Selza's just like out of the gate, like I'm going to be above 4 million. Like just very easily. Yeah, these guys are great. Okay. So this is going to be probably like our best turn. Because we're getting 5 out of 6. And we've got a 40% support. So basically we're getting 40, 50, 60, 70, like 95 to like 125, 115, whatever, depending on what Tekka's doing. He's getting a ton of support here. So this whole rotation is support. Yeah, 172k defense. So that's going to be a combination of like Trunks coming in with his 40% support. And then Tekka could be 50 right now. Could be 25. We just don't know. So we'll just attack through and see. But, yeah, these numbers are okay. Like, he's kind of like what I expected. Like, he's not, like, blowing me out of the water. He's not, like, best free-to-play unit in the game or anything like that. I would say, and then, yeah, 2.4 mil attack stats, good. But once again, this is, like, super optimized, right? I would say the, like, 1.5 to 1.9 attack range is more realistic when you're just floating him. That's probably where I would be putting him. And then I would say the, 150-ish K defense, maybe even a little bit less than that, is going to be, like, his normal defensive number. But yeah, that's it. This might be a quick showcase. We'll just get one more turn just to see, like, if the stats fluctuate much, depending on, like, who's supporting and if Tekka's, full support is happening or not. But yeah, like, I think he's just a nice, solid, free-to-play option. If you're a newer player. So, like, something I actually recommended to, like, I don't know if it would necessarily be to newer players, but just, like, players that have some stones that maybe don't have huge rosters. If you, like, don't have these fusions, like this particular batch, like, they're actually really good. And so something you could do is you could summon on that little 5-unit side banner. Guaranteed feature, it's very easy to pull these units. You could build, like, a decent little crossover team just off of that banner, and then you've got Tekka here as just a free-to-play support option to put on the team, right? So, I don't know, like, I definitely could see some people using them, right? Just depends on what your box is. Based on my box with my crossover lineup, I don't know that I'm ever going to be pulling Tekka out, but we'll see. I mean, yeah, 164k defense, like, it's fine. Like, you're not going to bring that into Ultimate Red Zone, right? Like, you're going to get crushed in there. But for, like, more casual content, I mean, and here's the thing, like, most of the game isn't Ultimate Red Zone, right? Most of the game isn't Legendary Vegeta event. So, you definitely, like, if you like a unit, let's see what he takes here, by the way. It's going to hurt. Yeah, 115k. So, I mean, if you like Tekka and you want to use him, like, he's definitely solid. You just don't bring him into the hardest content. But play in Dokkan events, he's going to be great. You might even be able to get away with him in some Super Battle Roads. Depending on which ones he fits on, right? But, like, yeah, if you like him, use him. You could find some use. So, anyways, there you go, guys. Pretty short little showcase here. But Tekka's fairly simple, right? So, Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this batch of EZAs. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all in the next one.